I was 14 or 15 when I was hanging out with some friends. Afterwards, I was supposed to sleep over at a friend's house. So whenever we were leaving, another friend of ours asked for a ride home. It was late at Friday. We hopped in the car and headed over to drop him off. As our friend was getting out of the car, he mentioned he did not have any keys to the house, so he asked us to wait outside and wait for him to make it inside the house. He looked around for a spare key, but couldn't find one anywhere. He walked back to the car and asked if we could help him go in the house through the window. We got out, walked to the front door, and there was a small window right next to it, but it was pretty high from the ground. Given since I was the smallest guy, physically, I asked if I could do him the favor of climbing inside and opening the door for him. It was late, the neighborhood wasn't well lit, and the only light was basically coming from the moon. Very creepy. But my fear wasn't the creepy factor of the night, but someone calling the cops on us. I was 14 or 15. My friends were 17 or 18, and we were 3 Hispanic kids in a nice neighborhood, and one of us is climbing through a window. So my friend convinces me to hop in. Mind you, I have never been in this house, ever, so I have no idea how to get to the front door in this pitch black house. Jumped into a bathroom, which led to a bedroom. 2 beds were there where his sisters slept. I tell my friend, you have to guide me. So he is like, open the door on your left, which leads to the hallway. Then turn left and you will walk into a living room where the front door is, in this little walkway. Open the door, pitch black. It was a walk-in closet. So I go to the next door, open it, stuck my head out, and looked left. I see the end of the hallway, which opens up into a bigger room, the living room. There's a light coming from the left side of the room, from the little walkway where the front door is. Past that, there is what looks to be a kitchen counter with a single candle on it, the only 2 sources of light inside this house. Then I turn my head to the right. Till this day, I get chills even typing this. Down the hallway to the right, there are a few doors, some to the right, some to the left. The last door on the left is cracked open, the only door that is open. Very clearly, there is a lady standing inside this room, peeking out. I could only see her silhouette, long black hair that drapes down in a long, light-colored nightgown as she is staring at me sideways. Her head turned to the side, peeking and holding on to the cracked door with both hands. First thing I do is go back into the room I was in, shut the door, and go back to the bathroom window where the other 2 friends are laughing and talking amongst each other. I told my friend that his mom was inside the house and she saw me walking in. So I told him to yell in and tell his mom that it was me, his friend, coming in the house and was trying to get the door open for him. I go back, open the door. He yells at his mom. Now I am feeling a little better because I expect this lady to come out and meet me, but no. I walk out onto the hallway and she is still staring at me, and my only fear at this point was that she was going to come at me with a weapon of some sort. Because it is Texas at the end of the day, and also my mom wouldn't have been very happy if I would have been arrested for breaking into my friend's house. I was probably more afraid of that whooping from my mom than anything else, to be honest. Since I had to walk the opposite way from her, I didn't want to turn my back to her, but also it was weird to watch her watch me as I roamed through her house. So I took that first left into that little hallway, and I came to realize that you also need a freaking key to open the door from the inside. So I instantly start cursing out at my friend because knowing this, he still made me go in. So he tells me to go to the kitchen and find the door that leads to the backyard, which means that I have to go back partially into this hallway. I peeked in the hallway and was happy to see she wasn't waiting for me with a stick or something, but she was still in her room, still staring at me. I get to the kitchen and I start panicking because I don't want to be in this house anymore. So I am yelling at my friend to knock on the door so I know where to head to. They are obviously having a blast, and I can hear them outside laughing, and they think it would be hilarious to knock on the windows and walls, which made me start panicking even more, so I start opening every door I see. In the back of my head, the mom is calling the cops, and I will be sitting in a jail cell soon, unless I get out of this house and get in that car and leave. I finally find the door to the backyard after opening pantry doors and even the refrigerator, and ran out of the house. At this moment, the only thing I remember is seeing the moon. A very bright moon, because there was no other light around. I have never been to one of those haunted houses. Probably because I may have some type of PTSD, but I am sure that feeling I had running out of that house, it is probably the same feeling you have when you escape those places. It's like a breath of fresh air. So I told my friends about the mom and how she is in the last room down the hallway. He looks at me and says, "Christian, that is my brother's room. Why would she be in there?" "I don't know, man. Get your ass in there and find out," I said. Both of my friends walk in the house. I follow closely behind them because I am not staying in this dark backyard by myself. As soon as they made that left turn out of the kitchen into the living room, they screamed, turned around, and started booking it towards the back door. All three of us ran out of the house, ran to the car, and sped away. So now I look at my friend and ask him, "What the fuck was that?" And he proceeds to tell us this. According to the previous owners, a girl had hung herself in that room in the closet. Some previous residents that had lived in the house had some weird things happen to them, but no one had seen the girl. My mom's friend used to take some heavy medications that would make her very sleepy and have some side effects. And for the longest time, she had been telling my family that she would see this girl float around that hallway and in turn leave the room, but no one ever believed her because they would say it was a combination of previous stories and her medications that would make her hallucinate with this girl. So it turns out his mom was right. A girl was inside this house. My friend was right. His mom wasn't in the house that day. I was right. Some lady was staring at me, and the lady staring at me the whole time I was in the house wasn't my friend's mom, but this girl that committed suicide in the past. Bonus. A couple weeks after that, it was my friend's birthday, and he had a party at his house. Honestly, I was creeped out, but I wasn't going to miss out on that party. After a few hours, the older brother, who slept in that room, crazy, I know, told me that he wanted to show me something in his room. So I gathered those two friends, and the older brother showed us how on his closet door someone had written Sepultura, which stands for grave in Spanish, Portuguese, with the same paint color the door was painted. Eventually, they had some pastors and priests go pray over the house, and especially that room. And according to them, nothing else has happened. They moved out since then, and honestly, I don't care to check back on that house. Those were the only times I have been in that house.